Well, good evening, laddies, lasses, and lassos. Welcome to the click. You smell absolutely astounding today. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. I can see that you have a little question on your face, like, my god, click, I really want to ask you this very important question. And the question, if I interpret that look correctly, is, oh my god, where did you get that amazing sweater with a little demon on it? My god, is there a link in the description? Yes, there is. Check out my merch store, link in the description. It's a beautiful place. But I see that there's another question just throbbing through the audience today. Is that a good word to describe it? Throbbing? Probably indeed. How do women work? Well, all I know is that women come in many shapes and sizes. Some look like this. Some are even more gay, and, they come in many different shapes and sizes, but the remaining factor is that women are like this kind of mysterious thing in the universe that no one seems to understand. Like, what's inside of a black hole? What happened before time? What's the meaning of life? What are women? So today, we're gonna look into r/NotHowGirlsWork, because the best way to do science is to look at absolutely unhinged posts online and laugh about it. And maybe we will feel a bit less insane after laughing about it together. Yes, indeed. Enjoy. Mwah. It's like a bit of a process of elimination, isn't it? If I figure out all the ways women don't work in, then the remaining things is how women work. Let's get into it, shall we? In before a 5-hour-long video. What are you supposed to say instead of females? Birds, chicks, hoes? Damn, he has a way with words, doesn't he? My god. How do you describe people with vajudes of the feminine species? In a way less derogatory than female. Get over yourself. Ever heard of the word woman? Have you heard of it? It's a pretty basic one. It's one of the first words you learn if you're studying a new language. My god, this stuff you learn in preschool. Jesus Christ, man. Wait, did I tip the camera over by being so intense? I'm sorry, camera. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's better. It's probably a bit crooked. Females, parentheses, derogatory. Boy math equals complaining Western women only want you for your money, then going to foreign countries to settle with the women that are underprivileged and only want you for your money. But those underprivileged women is more feminine and loyal than a female from the hood any day. Oh my god, this reminds me of that post where someone invited their buddy home to their Japanese family, and the friend started like mansplaining Japanese food to the mother, and she absolutely tore him a new one, and then he was crying afterwards like, I thought Japanese women were supposed to be submissive. My dear sir, you have watched too much anime and think that's how the world works. I mean, this is equivalent to like if a Japanese person watched Family Guy and then they based their entire view of America based on Family Guy. Maybe that's actually more accurate. Vicious? Females. Or voids. Man, the amount of terminology I have learned from scrolling the internet in the last few years is absolutely wild, and now I'm actually old enough to have seen it evolve as well. It is truly fascinating. I can write like a history book about the internet, and the book only spans about 20 years, because the internet is pretty fast. That would actually be fascinating. Can I do that? Internet history book? Oh my god. Why you can never show your emotions to a female? Their biggest hindrance is themselves, straight up. I am 5'6", went on a date with a guy that was my height. He spent the entire time talking about how insecure he is about his height, and that I'm probably texting other guys because of it. Okay? It's so freaking pathetic, bro. No woman is going to want to bone you if you need constant reassurance that you are enough. Exactly. I am 5'3", and so is my BF. He has never once complained about his height and has a very confident aura, which is something that I found very attractive from the beginning. The person reposting this has a very odd takeaway. I imagined it to be a bit hopeful, like, oh my god, look, these guys that are the same height as me managed to land these ladies, isn't that a good thing? But instead it's like, this takeaway. Like, no one wants you to trauma dump on the first date. I'm just gonna be honest. That goes both directions. There's a time and a place. First date, probably ain't it. Looking for a serious person to marry. False church. Hi. I'm looking for a female to marry. Compensation to be discovered. What do you mean compensation? It's a marriage. What are you talking about? Are you gonna pay someone to marry you? That is absolutely wild. Men who aren't afraid to moan. I think men groan, not moan. Moaning is more feminine. I'm sure girls love when men groan. Indeed, fellow alpha males, when you're with a woman and things are getting frisky, remember to sound like a rambunctious bull in the height of summer. If she doesn't have a little mini stroke from your sounds of pleasure, then are you really doing it right, fellow men? Think about that when you go home tonight. Yes, indeed. Red flags in females. Indian poop emoji. Oh, yes, indeed. You see, the punchline is racism. 120 pounds plus is a whale. Do you know how little 120 pounds is? Jesus Christ, fam. OnlyFans, angry emoji, astrology, a comet crashing, vaccinated. Oh my god, I've never met a woman who is vaccinated. Disgusting. 23 years old, nauseous emoji. Ooh, is this like the insight of this person when they're like, hey, I'm like in my 30s, dating people who are like 10 years younger probably means that we're in different life chapters and is unlikely to function as a relationship. You also want the power dynamic to be relatively equal so you have a partner in life, etc., etc. Sadly, I don't think that is the takeaway. I think the takeaway is that once you're 23, you're past your prime. Dear God, opinionated and has a public Instagram. Disgusting throwing up emoji. I think astrology is probably the only one I would like really agree with on this, but it also depends on what it is. Like, is it quirky fun you do with your friends and you giggle about horoscopes, or is it literally they come up to you and be like, oh my god, are you an asparagus? I can't date asparagus. We're not compatible. It's like, no. But the sheer irony that this list is a red flag in itself is just like glorious, isn't it? Like, it's racist, it's anti-vax, it's body shaming, it's really age creepy, like, GG's. Females can't help but display their naughtyality, even when it limits in their range of motion in public safety jobs. Look at this woman, how dare she wear pants? Disgusting. Oh my god. Wait, wasn't there like an outcry on Twitter recently when everyone was so outraged that like the buttocks in the Fallout series wasn't like tight enough, but then we have this at the same time. Man, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. This outrage is like so unhinged and just inconsistent. It just makes me laugh. It's so funny. It's so funny the stuff people get worked up about, man. My friend said she can't hang out this week because she just gave birth. Oh, you have known the baby 1 day and me 13 years, but okay. Yeah, it's so disgusting, you know. God, I've been here for you much longer than you, baby. Don't you realize that? Okay, like obvious satire and stuff. This is really funny. Hell yeah. Frick this uni. Been crushing on someone for months. Never talked to them. Waiting for the right moment. Watched them for ages. Today I built up the courage to go buy her flowers, everything misspelled, and she doesn't even care. Says she has a boyfriend. I know that's a lie because I've been stalking her for a month. And then when I call her out, she calls me a creep. Excuse me, I have a boyfriend. Oh, I know that's not true. I hacked into your phone last night and went through the last year of your texts. Yeah, okay. Freaking sick of females at this uni. Can't appreciate an act of good old-fashioned romance. Bet if some Chad went Mad Mike on you, you wouldn't make up a poo excuse. Freaking liar. Females are so cruel these days to the kindest of men. I mean, you've been literally skulking behind her for like a month, and then you're upset that she isn't interested back. Okay, ignoring the whole like creepy aspect and stalking stuff and not believing her when she says no and that kind of thing, handling rejection is a very important part of growing up, becoming an adult, exploring love life, and etc. Everyone deals with rejection, and most people deal with it quite a few times as well. It's fine, it can sting in the moment, sometimes it's like a crush you built up for yourself and that kind of thing, and that hurts a bit more, but most people get rejected quite a few times in their life, and it is okay that it hurts in the moment, but you can't let it make you bitter, because if it does, it means that you are not ready to have a partner, and you're not gonna be healthy inside of the relationship either, because you're gonna be insecure about everything and be overly controlling and be worried as soon as they talk to someone that isn't you, etc. This is, nah. This ain't it, fam. Men gain experience with body count, girls get used by body count. The more he has, the better for you. The less you have, the better for him. Source, I pulled it out of my butt. Believe me, it is not poo. Why are most females so boring? I swear whenever I talk to a female on Discord, she has nothing of value to say. So your sample size is that I jumped on a Discord call one night, and I wasn't like enthralled by this specific conversation with a specific person, so all women in the world are boring. Oh my god, fam, like extrapolation is a thing, but usually you have more than one single data point. Holy shit. Even back when I used to talk to females IRL, okay, I would genuinely get nothing of value out of most conversations whenever I am asking them some basic questions about basic poo. But if you're asking them basic questions, then you're gonna get basic answers. I'ma be honest, fam, there is also the aspect of like the common denominator, right? If you find it boring with every single person, maybe you're asking the wrong questions, or maybe you're seeking out people that aren't compatible with you. Whenever you have chemistry with someone, it can be like a good friend or a potential partner or what have you, it flows relatively easily. You know, there isn't that much effort, there isn't that much awkwardness. It can be awkward in the beginning, especially if you're dating and nervous and stuff, that's okay. But usually there is like a naturalness to it, there's a rhythm. You're like, yeah, you have the same kind of like vibe, the same wavelength, if you will. So maybe you're just seeking out the wrong people, or maybe you should try to like talk to people differently and not go into it with like a weird bitterness, because man, that's wild. How can I find a female like you? Be my girlfriend. Happy emoji. Oh, there's a picture. A nice picture. Let's copulate sometimes. I have a little bit of a way with words, so yes indeed. Let's smither up some babies, shall we, baby? Oh, yes. I'm gonna be honest, as a creator, I get some wild DMs from time to time, my god. But they are actually not that bad compared to the stuff I see when some of my lady friends show me their inboxes. Oh my lord. Anyways, just remember that when it comes to females, she's not your girl, it's just your turn. Oh my god, that is so bad. And I'm assuming like it's not the reverse, is it? No, it's not the reverse, because it's a positive. It's like, you know, oh yes, I'm just warmed up as a male, but you are like a rental car or so. Jesus Christ. Females don't feel love for men the way we do for them. Their love is conditional, temporary, and fake. What are you talking about? What's your source for this? You're like 16 and got dumped once. That's your source. Why do men start podcasts instead of going to therapy? I mean, to be fair, starting a podcast is cheaper than going to therapy. Apart from that, yeah, it would probably be a good first step. For the same reason females start an OnlyFans instead of getting a job, lol. Twitter discourse, man. Twitter discourse in a nutshell. Oh my god, this is a separate world. Twitter is a separate planet, I swear to god. Well, listen, as someone who's a lesbian female, I'm gonna bet money that this is indeed not a lesbian female. Holy shit. When I didn't want to be head Birch or chase Chad and do estrogen-related things. Hey, what up, fellow lesbian women? Want to come to my place and do some estrogen-inspired activities? What is this choice of wording, man? Females were jerks to me, and females often seem to pick out abusive jocks to date and blame all men. It's not right. Oh my god, this is so not written by a woman. What's with using like female instead of woman? It's so wild, isn't it? There are instances when the word female is applicable in more like scientific context or biology or whatever you want, but like... This ain't it, fam. Why is it that kind of creepy dudes almost universally seem to prefer the word females over saying women? Are they trying to sound academic or something? It's like they're talking about an animal species. Let me describe my observation of the females. That's because if you refer to a female... Okay, here we go. As woman, you have to deal with a "are you saying I look old?" problem. And if you refer to her as a girl, then you have to deal with a "are you saying I look like a child?" problem. The workings of the female mind are such a mystery that referring to them as a separate species is both the safest and most honest way to address them. Have you spoken to a single woman in your entire life, you fucking weirdo? What is this? Where did you come up with this hypothesis? Have you ever spoken to humans? I'm just gonna go the safe route and start referring to every human I meet as a biological biped. There we go. I think that'll keep it simple. Hey man, are you saying I'm not a boy? Are you saying I'm too old? Alright, bipedal flesh sack. I think that's a good way. Let's start referring to each other as bipedal flesh sacks. You know, it's gender neutral, it's wholesome, it's inclusive, and it sounds better than female for some reason, even though I tried really hard to come up with something bad.
I am a foreign woman who hates the way the West treats nice guys.
I'm a bit money this is not indeed written by a foreign woman, but let's dig into it, shall we?
As a Japanese girl, I have noticed problems with the way Western females treat nice guys. Hey everyone, so I am originally from Japan, and since coming to the West, I will say that there's a lot of things Western females can work on, especially when it comes to the treatment of nice guys.
You hear that? Females. You better treat the nice guys trademark a little bit better, according to this Japanese girl. Let's dig into it.
I don't want to be rude, but tell the truth and raise awareness.
We're raising awareness now, are we? How wholesome.
The main problem is that Western females don't know how to pick a nice guy. I understand many of us grillies struggle meeting Mr. Right. Trust me, girls, I know. Haha, girls, fellow ladies.
Wait. Is there equivalent meme? You know the what up fellow kids meme with the skateboard over your shoulder and stuff? Is there an equivalent for that, but like what up fellow females?
But it's because you're not looking for the right kind of man. So when I went for my first shopping trip for a noose bag, accessories, and shoes with Western females...
Why do you keep referring to... You could just like, my girlfriends, or my gang of whammon. You know... Western females. All right, cool.
The entire time my group of birches were talking about pea size and height. This does not make a good man, and I know this the most smexy and beautiful of my female group with the best body, sexiest eyes, I guess, and best hair all went for jerks. Therefore, it's our fault as females when we get into a dive relationships. What on earth is a dive relationship? Does it mean like it's going downwards? Is that it? So what can we do as females to fix it?
Keep referring to this as... Alright, cool.
Well, my little princess, we need to date nice guys.
Please no.
I know, because it's hard to logically think sometimes. I know we females are just so hysterical, aren't we, fellow women up top? Yeah. About what makes a nice guy use a guy from my life.
Oh, that was a weird sentence. Okay, Bob. Now we're talking about Bob. He's a good example of a nice guy.
Bob, my boyfriend, and the love of my love.
Love of my life, I guess.
Is the funniest, coolest, and most thoughtful, intimate man on this planet. Bob was even at the top of his class 5 years in a row. Bob also is skilled in linguistics. Bob also knew everything about Japan and my culture. It was great. Yeah, he watched so much anime. He watched anime every single day. He can quote them all. Now, you would think Bob would have attracted all kinds of females by
watching so much anime and being a nice guy.
I was so shocked and stunned when he told that such a gentleman got no females.
Is this AI generated? I'm starting to wonder if this is not like a bad roleplay, but by some dude in a basement. This is this is just AI trying to imitate nice guys. Holy shite, man.
So he told me about why, and it made sense to what my other females had told me. Western females as a group go for jerks over a nice guy.
Ooh, he just happened to tell you the exact thing that you believe and have made up with this little fanfic. How convenient.
What makes Japanese girls so much better? Well, as one, I will say this. We are much prettier, much more feminine, and we listen to a man telling us what to do out of love. We won't date guys who are into dangerous music and drugs, and date sophisticated men instead.
You see that, man? You want to land a woman? Don't listen to dangerous music, whatever that is. Does the Doom soundtrack on vinyl count as dangerous music? Man, I'm screwed.
We pick refined gentlemen to date and not scumbags.
This is talking like a walking fedora.
Yes, my lady, let me treat you like a queen
until you make me mildly annoyed. And then you will see what happens when the nice guy becomes upset. The devil shivers in his boot and all that kind of stuff, and then he starts posting cringe on Twitter instead. That's great.
We squeal so cutely during the naughties.
This is definitely someone who just watched a bunch of anime and hentai, I swear to God. There's no way in hell this is an actual woman.
We have the best bodies, the best skin, everything about Japanese worlds. I guess girls is the best, but Western females are flawed on a huge level of rebellious anti-man heathens.
How are we on the heathen route, are we?
Western females need to be more like us. Use naughties in the most sacred and intimate actions we can perform on good, loving, caring gentlemen. Not a butthole who plays basketball and doesn't give a flying frick about you.
What's this random job? A basketball. Basketball is just a normal sport. What's with the basketball thing?
This is such a little roleplay text by someone sitting in their basement roleplaying as a girl from Japan after watching like 15 hours straight of anime, and now they're upset because 10 years ago in high school their crush got stolen by the basketball boy who played basketball, and now basketball is universally seen as a red flag because they're all jerks.
This is amazing, man. This is so oddly specific.
The worst thing that the Western females made is feminism. As a Japanese girl, men and masculine leadership is awesome. But only when it's actual nice guys like my boyfriend Bob.
If we were gonna write a fanfic, could you have chosen a different name? Okay, never mind.
Western females in general put the rust guy of men in leadership and then mock the nice gentleman who sits in the back studying, learning, who one day will make more money than all you idiots. Females need to do better.
This is literally that crap post meme you see on Twitter every 2 days, where it's like, you know, a nerdy guy by the lockers in high school being like, "Hi, woman," and the woman is hanging out with like a jock, trademark, and she's like, don't talk to me, and then like 10 years later, and he's in a super rich fancy suit, and she's a single mom, and be like, "Hi there, I remember you," and he's like, "No, I have so much money, I don't talk to broke people." It's like that. It's like some weird fantasy someone made up in a shower and then spent half a Saturday making a meme about. It's wild.
So as a Japanese girl, I will say we do so much better than Western females. For starters, we dress the appropriate feminine way with cute skirts, but also formal tops. We wear out of our hair in the correct feminine way and don't wear it like a man or shave it. We're the perfect examples of femininity. These issues can be fixed, I believe, in the sacred sisterhood, but first we need to look at ourselves and think what could we be doing wrong. Again, I know I'm talking about I'm female, but it's Japanese.
I know what I'm talking about because I'm female, but just Japanese.
Yeah, we just have to bring that point across. Hey, fellow females, I am a female. Anyway, my boyfriend Bob confirmed everything about Western females. Oh my god. I have read better fanfics on Wattpad. A little fun fact for y'all today. You know when someone says fun fact, it has nothing to do with anything that is factful? Anyway, did you know that the greatest gift a female can give a man is her virginity? Okay, a fun fact, the greatest gift a man can give a woman is broadcasting how much he cares about virginity so we can avoid him. Oh, man. Any more questions, girls? Men, he, you were never meant to be independent. My source for that? Specifically how some words in the English language are constructed. But if you speak literally any other language, this doesn't even make sense. It just happens to be how the words are constructed in English. So, you know, so that's a thing. Yeah, great source material. It sort of reminds me to those guys that were claiming that bananas must have been made by God because they fit so perfectly into a human hand, and completely ignored like the many years of just, you know, genetic breeding we have done with bananas, because they don't look anything like wild bananas used to look like, right? They have like no seeds. Wild bananas are like this big and full of seeds. You know, it's wild. But apparently it's an argument for God because we can't breed vegetables on our own, apparently, even though that's a very well-known concept. This is kind of similar, you know? This proves that God meant for you to not be independent because of our own little words that we made up.
Not your choice. Your husband's body, meaning that this is not your body.
Wow, that is absolutely wild. 666 quotes though. Okay, that brings me a little bit of hope. Hell yeah. Your husband's body. Okay, what happens if she doesn't even have a husband? I mean, even trying to play on this botched logic to begin with. This sort of plays into that same line of logic. I've heard horror stories of women that go to the hospital to have their knots tied, so to say, so they won't have to worry about the baby making and that kind of thing. And the doctor says something like,
"But aren't you worried your future husband is gonna insist the opposite?"
And their bodies kind of belong, or the choice about their bodies belong to a man they haven't even met, which is absolutely insane. This reminds me of that. That is insane. What are you doing? Your husband's but shut the hell up. Prefrontal development comes at you fast, Sydney Sweeney. That sounds oddly threatening. And here are two pictures. Look, age 26 and age 25. So if we look closely at these pictures, the argument is, of course, at age 25, like, oh my god, she's like glowing. And age 26, she hit the wall so hard. That's what happens when you're 25. Alright, I'm gonna use myself as an example here to explain why this is just absolutely botched. Here is a picture that I took professionally with a photographer for one of my music albums. Check out my music channel, I suppose. Hell yeah, good stuff. Link below or on my channel or something like that. Looks really nice, doesn't it? Here is a picture, a selfie, I took in bed with garbage lighting from a really bad angle on my phone, meaning that the lens is all messed up. You see? The key point here isn't that I have hit the wall between these pictures. The key difference is that one is a professional photo with preparation and filters and, good light and everything like that and professional lenses, and the other one is a crappy selfie. The same thing here. One picture is obviously professional photo shoot with touch-up, makeup, fixed hair in a specific pose, etc., etc. Looks really nice. The other one is a photo, just like paparazzi pic on the beach, in bad light and bad posture and everything. Like, this is not evidence for someone hitting the wall. This is, oh my god. If you're gonna cherry pick evidence, at least do it convincingly. Jesus Christ.
Scarlett is so mid, bro. Hashtag change my mind, you see? She has like 2 centimeters of tummy.
Imagine publicly self-snitching this hard that you've never been naked with a woman. Scarlett is so mid. This person has never been outdoors and actually looked at a real woman. I swear to God.
23 versus 29. What's changed?
When you were 23, your eyes were filled with love and hope. Now they are soulless. You have been through a lot of peckers. You've got too much baggage now. That is absolutely wild. People that think this much about what like random celebrities do with their lives and try to overanalyze something. It's like those pictures with the postures. When they always try like, yeah, here's a random picture of this couple. The man is leaning 3 degrees to the left, meaning that he's a cuck. And the woman is facing the world, meaning that the vajayjay is dominant. And this goes against the message of the alpha. Oh my god. Body count went up while stock market went down.
She flipped this image on purpose, but we know who's 29.
Crazy eyes at 29. Actually, she has developed those eyes at 23. It only got worse at 29. But they don't see it now, do they? Okay, this is a wild piece of hypocrisy I see repeated like all the time. On one hand, you see this sort of people always wanting women to like put out more, I suppose, because they're so frustrated about not getting laid. But at the same time, they will spend their days on Twitter shaming random pictures of women and analyzing a single picture and be like, yeah, look in those eyes. You can see all the reflections of all the pee-pees she must have seen in her life. Holy shite, man. Reading too much into it. Yeah, finally one sane person in the comments. Good thing I'm not afraid of baggage. Well, to be fair, I'm not sure if I would call this specifically baggage, but, half a star.
1,000 pee-pees there.
Really? Is it though? I've seen this argument made on like modeling pictures, and it's usually just people posing for a picture where they're like, supposed to look seductive. My god, man. Old women are predators. What? What do you mean? Hey bro, you might want to seek some professional mental health services. Yeah, another sane person. Wow, sometimes they exist even on Twitter. Isn't that beautiful?
It's sad too. She didn't have to turn out like this. I bet she thinks none of it is her fault.
What do you mean? You have assumed like a bunch of stuff about intimate life, which is none of your business, and you wouldn't even be able to tell, even if it were, from a single picture of her looking into the camera and be like, yeah, I can tell right away. I know what she does during the weekends. Do you, though? Do you? Is this an established methodology to, conclude literally anything? No, it's not. He is right! No, he is not. I swear to God, maybe this is even worse than flat earther logic. Because flat earthers be looking at the horizon and be like, look, it's flat, and can't comprehend how big the world actually is and that you wouldn't be able to see a curve to begin with. But this is one step further. This is not only about denying something, this is about inserting something else where there is nothing to be found in the first place. It's absolutely weird. It's like 2 steps of just, oh my lord. Women are so difficult, am I right, fellow men? You know what I'm talking about? Always changing their minds. At 18, they want handsome men. At 25, they want mature men. At 30, they want successful men. At 40, they want established men. At 50, they want faithful men. And at 60, they want helpful men. They can never make up their mind, according to this random list I pulled out of my butt. Anyway, men are very simple. They never change their taste for any changing condition in their life.
At 18, they like pretty young girls. At 25, they like pretty young girls. At 30, they like pretty young girls. At 40, pretty young girls. At 50, still like pretty young girls. At 60, they still like pretty young girls. Even at 70 and 80, when they can barely move, they still like pretty young girls. Dedicated to all the men for their disciplined behavior. Did you just like call men basic birches? That's basically what this post did, isn't it? This is not really the own you think it is, to be honest. Like, I'm more aligned with the first piece of this list, even though it's really weirdly formulated. Like, your priority for relationships very much shifts as you get older. When you're 18, all you think about is like, ooh, do I have butterflies when I'm close to this person? And are they somewhat cool to hang around? Maybe we both play Minecraft. That's your grounds for a relationship, right? And then when you're like in your mid-20s, you're like, do a bit more stuff together. Maybe you're thinking about moving in together, that kind of stuff. And then when you're starting to get into my age, you start thinking about the future and all that kind of stuff. And then when you're 40, 50, etc., maybe have a family, you want someone to run a household with, you want to do all of these kind of stuff. And of course, finding them attractive is also important, but most people that get together do. And of course, you would want to find them attractive as well, but my point is that relationships become more and more multidimensional the older you get, at least in my experience so far in life. So this is kind of nuts. I don't know who wrote this, but they should probably reconsider. This is kind of embarrassing. PlayStation AU. Happy birthday to our beautiful Aloy. Woo! Heart emoji. I couldn't resist. I had to fix this. Happy birthday, Aloy! And a picture that looks like something taken out of Nexus mods for Skyrim. Why? Who cares? This is something that I just don't get about the outrage, to be honest. If you want to play a game because it has a good amount of eye candy in it, then play the game because of the eye candy. That's fine. But I find it so weird when people try to like make it seem like there's some kind of battle going on or something. There is no shortage about eye candy in video games, okay? You're fine. There is no shortage about realism in certain video games either. It is fine. You're fine. Play what you're into. My god, who gives a fuck?
A type of girl that annoys and triggers me so bad. I sat in my cold shower and thought about this for an hour, and I was so upset about people I've never met. Let's whine about him on TikTok that 200,000 people liked. Whew, let's get into it, baby. Fat girls that celebrate being obese and try to give people the illusion they're happy, and it's totally okay to be this way. We all know you're crying yourself to sleep.
Oh, gee, this is most toxic stuff I've read in a while, and I'm in the middle of recording like a really bad video, so I should tell you something.
Girls that are bad at makeup in 2023, I'm so tired, y'all.
Who sits and is like genuinely upset about how other people use makeup? Is your life so perfect that this is the kind of stuff you have time to worry about? Oh my god.
Girls that never use makeup because they don't see the point and they think they don't need it. Parentheses, we are tired of your puffy eyes and pale, unseasoned face. Grow the frick up. Unseasoned face. What hinged person goes out in public and be like, you see that person over there not wearing makeup? Their puffy cheeks are pissing me off. Is this even written by a human? Girls that don't shave their mustache, skull emoji. I don't care if it's dark or light or invisible. Shave it.
What on earth?
Girls that kill their huge potential by being huge. Florence Poe type girls, I have no idea what that means. Can't dress, the clothes don't match the body type, hair is a mess, and the worst part is that she looks happy about it. Oh my god, how dare she be happy? She should dress for the aesthetics I chose for the world.
Because I am the main character.
Girls that lost their whole personality after giving birth. Be for real, it's not that serious.
Having a baby? It's not a big deal. This can't be a real account. Oh no. I mean, I just assumed this was written by a massive pick-me girl because that's the vibe I got from the formulation, right? But who knows? It's a bit of a coin toss, isn't it? Like, is this a Twitter alpha male or is it a pick-me girl? You can decide in the comments. So yes, indeed, fun for the whole family, little guessing game, hell yeah. But one thing that always strikes me as really odd about these kind of people's logic, assuming this is like written by a man who's interested in women, right? Even if you have a preference regarding certain things, right? Whether it be like grooming or hair or, how active you want to be with your partner, whatever it might be, having a preference is perfectly fine.
Everyone who's interested in a relationship has preferences. That is perfectly okay. We have preferences about everything in life. It's about partners, it's about jobs, it's about hobbies, it's about everything. But the thing I will never ever understand is this desperate need to be super bitter and aggressive at people who happen to don't fall into that specific preference. The only time it matters, if someone falls into your preference, is if you're interested in dating them. That's it. Why do you care so much if people who you are not dating falls into a preference? It blows my mind.
Ladies, if your man is angry at you over something you did, talking to you, as a woman who knows her place, as you should do, is keep quiet. Hold your hands at your back, bow your head, and listen. That shows you respect your man. You submit to his authority.
You submit to his temper tantrums. So you wouldn't do this with a toddler. You wouldn't kneel before your toddler because they're having a tantrum. Why would you kneel before an adult when it's even more unacceptable to have this sort of tantrum? What the hell?
Replying back and every other nonsense only highlights your poor upbringing and lack of manners.
This is just telling people like, hey, you should stick to abusive relationships because that's cool. If you try to be happy and independent, that means you're poorly mannered.
There is nothing empowering about confronting your man. Your man is much like a father figure in your life.
The implications.
He is there to guide you and correct you when you err.
It's supposed to be a life partner if you have a remotely healthy relationship. What kind of daddy issue, abuse excusing bogus is this?
If you can do it for your boss at work, why not with your man? After all, he is above your boss and more important than him.
To be honest, if I had an office job and my boss was screaming at me, I probably wouldn't take it lying down either. I'm gonna be honest, and you shouldn't either. That's just workplace abuse and HR wouldn't put up with it. That's really nasty behavior and you should talk to someone about it if you don't want to confront it directly yourself. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's like, you take crap from your boss, so you should take crap from your husband too. No, the logic should be you should take it from neither. What the hell?
Oh, and once he's done talking to you, say thank you. Learn or perish.
Or just don't date people like this. That's like, the magic third option. Apart from like learning or perishing, you can just like meet a sane person. That's also an option.
Your puss is your internal compass. This is where God finds you.
More in caption. That's the most unhinged intro I've read in a while. Let's dig into it, shall we?
One day I decided that God would be my lover. I honestly don't know how it began. There was a void. I was tired from being in my masculine drive. I needed someone to hold me, guide me, listen to me.
Is this literally a fanfic? A Wattpad fanfic? About getting it on with God? I think it might be.
Maybe because he was Shiva is your stereotypical bad boy, or because Krishna is my full-on teenage dream.
Oh, we're involving... Okay, that's a bit multicultural, hell yeah.
It might also be that Mary Magdalene love for Jesus was so deliciously infectious that I fell deeply in love with him too.
What?
I began in a fashion that felt so cliche. Are you there, God? It's me, Rachel.
I am so undressed right now. Is that where this is going?
Additionally reminding myself that it's not the words that matter, it's my openness to receive.
Literally or spiritually? Are we going down like the pun route where it's like,
oh my God, there's a bit of gold inside all of it.
Is that where this is going? This is wild.
I waited. Relating to God as my lover was something... Yeah, that's literally where it went. Holy shit, I called it. That I could become more familiar with, more intimate, more tangible than praying to an anonymous spirit or undefinable universe. God as the divine masculine felt real. I quickly found he took on a personality and a voice of his own. It came through me, yet completely distinct.
What is this pulsing in the background? Is the pulsing supposed to be like presenting to God in the way I think it is? Oh my lord.
Oh my child, have you felt the Lord inside of you? Not yet? I don't know, have you tried spreading your cheeks in front of the sun? That oughta do it.
One of the first questions I presented to him was, how do I know it's you? How do I know you are present? In an instant, there I was, sitting in a
Why are they doing like cartwheels in the background? That is why. Is this part of it? All right.
I was sitting in a coffee shop journaling when I became wildly in the mood, beyond my control. Oh, I see how it is.
Getting in the moon is a sign of, alright, okay,
Literally unable to hold back, grinning from ear to ear. I thought, okay, this is how it's going to be. Smiley. Flirtatious, tantalizing, honest. This was the unfolding of a relationship where I didn't have to be in control. I didn't have to know the answer. His voice comes the most clearing of feelings of intense rapture.
Rapture my... prostate.
When I lean on him the most, I know exactly where to find him. The pleasure of my own body, my breath, my skin, my muscles, and yes, my personal regions. When I lean on him desperately and ask, what the heck is even happening? What do I do? He caresses me back into a state of ease. He says,
Baby, just take care of yourself. Stay in your pleasure. Follows what turns you on.
That's the word of God. That's a very interesting line in the Bible, though. It would make the Bible more interesting, though. No, I'm not gonna lie. That's a small plus in the corner of this godforsaken text, but interesting doesn't necessarily mean good either.
I hear your cries and your pleas. Yes, I will keep teasing and taunting you, but just sit back, relax a little, let me handle the rest.
Whoa, wait a second. Is the religious takeaway from this interaction that God will test you by edging you? Is that literally the religious takeaway from this experience? That is absolutely wild. A photographer took a picture before and after giving a woman a sword. Here she's kind of just looking like this, and oh my god, she's so happy.
women only want one thing, and it's disgusting.
I am surprised this is even a conversation. The old sly finger in the butt before full... It usually works without discussion. It's just about timing it right. I find that Asian girls are particularly receptive to this coaxing method. Minus 63 likes. Oh, yes indeed. I have found this out about this species of woman using my impressive sample size of 0.
Many of you actually need to learn more about periods, so I'm gonna talk about one of the most hated topics. Stopping your period?
I would like to read the context of this thread, but anyway, the most important part is this quote retweet right here. Never take advice from a woman, even if you are a woman. Very important, take advice from this fellow instead. Reason, a lot of numbers. They think having a period is something you can select on or off. Wrong! God made you bleed twice a month for a reason. Should probably get that checked. Permanent low HP. We're also in a video game now. Birth control or little trick will only make your life worse. Ah, maybe that's what the original thread was about. Like how to make your periods less garbage. I mean, that can actually work, yeah. Stop trying to play God and play maid as you were designed. Trust me. I have all the information about women. You should trust me, women, not those other women. Women bleed twice a month. My source? What? Source? A good woman loses weight after pregnancy, low body count, and dresses modestly. Dress size 12 or lower. No fupa. Unless I suppose they're a video game character. Then it should be like the curves should be this wide, and then everything should be out, and they should also wear 3 pounds of makeup at all times and all that kind of stuff. Did I get it right? I'm still like a bit confused about the like overarching logic in these cases, but anyway, let's keep digging, shall we? Waist to hip ratio of 0.7. No trauma/unaddressed trauma. A good woman can't have any trauma. Man, that's a new type of victim blaming, isn't it? You can't be a good woman trademark if you've experienced bad in your life. Then I, random man on... What is this? Like some kind of garbage reel on Instagram or something? I have decided you're not a good person because you had a bad experience in the past. Wow, I am a productive member of society. Balanced pH levels and bubble gum pink. I hate that I've read too much of these posts to know what he's referring to. That is, oh no. Reasonably sized forehead/areolas. Oh well, I'm screwed. Can cook and clean, not a single mom. No stretch marks, open to labiaplasty. Has low iron levels. That's not a good thing. I had iron deficiency when I was a kid. It's not fun. You get like really sickly and pale and your appetite goes to poo. It's not a good state of being. Get iron pills. It helps. Can spell coconut with her waist. Oh, because she can like... Okay, I get what you mean, yeah. Not a feminist, not moody during the drippies. Doesn't believe star signs, doesn't nag and good communicator. Accepts her body hair, white toes. Join Discord server to debate. Link in bio. Yes, indeed, women, you want to join a Discord server where you know how to keep your toes white to please this fine man. Discord below. If you want to join an actual decent Discord, check out mine in the description. We do not talk about the whiteness of toes. I can guarantee you that. The bar is really low for what a good Discord is, isn't it?
Boggles my mind that beautiful white girls get with Asian guys. White women and Asian women belong to white men.
Too bad, bro. People just write this in public spaces. so confidently.
Who's that guy? Why is he doing that? What did he say? Wait, can we watch that?
Serious question. Why are women like this? Women don't do cause and effect. To them, life is a series of things that just happen. Women are like those passive grazing dinosaurs that were just kind of like... That's your analysis of the situation. Holy crap. If they figure things out, it's not on a conscious cognitive level. And by necessity, movies that have things you're supposed to ignore. What is that sentence? If they figure things out, it's not on a conscious cognitive level, and by necessity, movies. Do you mean motives? Is that what you mean? For someone who can't write a cohesive sentence, you sure are eager to call other people stupid. Have things you're supposed to ignore. Family members played by unrelated actors. What? And things you're supposed to pay attention to, details of dialogue and plot. Oh, are you trying to compare cognitive abilities to a movie plot? Is that the little smart thing you're trying to do here? That's cute. It's completely incomprehensible. Which doesn't really mesh with how women interact with and interpret the world. Movies are made for male cognition. Oh, okay, so that is what he was doing. That means the sentences are slightly less incoherent, but the point overall is even more nuts.
Yeah, fellow men, women just don't understand the movies. It's just random flashes and cool colors.
Quick and dirty, but that flatness bothered me though.
Oh, it's the Fallout post! I have seen this floating around. Man, the insane amounts of outrage regarding this is absolutely hilarious. I love when stuff like this comes out. It reminds me a lot about when the Barbie movie came out and the sheer amount of outrage and just how the entire internet blew up for like 3 months straight. It's so wild, man. I don't know, man. I think my opinion about this kind of stuff is really heckin' simple. There are caked up characters in movies sometimes. That do be a thing. Caked up people exist. Sometimes people don't always wear things that make them look caked up. That is also a normal thing that you see quite often in real life as well. Believe it or not. Yeah. Wow.
Anime is brilliant because they portray women as being mentally the same as small children, which they are. This is a way of writing and thinking that has been totally lost by Western writers.
And here's an example from Delicious in Dungeon, which no, it's not. She's not a child. She does freaking forbidden blood magic, for God's sake. Oh my God, fam, are you kidding me? Did you even watch the anime or read the manga? Probably not. Jesus Christ.
Race traitor to a race that's already declining in numbers. Shameful display.
Says anime profile picture about this couple right here. I don't even know who they're angry at, but I don't think it matters so much. Their opinion is dismissed because they're racist and they have an anime profile picture. Equally bad things. No, maybe not, but they do very often correlate.
I would absolutely body this trend, but you guys would call me a bop.
Literally dresses like a bop.
Because you are a bop.
You're a bop anyway.
You already is a bop. I see a bop already. You're a bop, go get it. That'll make you a bop. That's your actions.
Yeah, I got your fully access on my phone. You're already a bop.
I got you. Ooh, that's pretty creepy. Is this person even like? It looks sort of like a high school. Is it? Ooh. What does bop mean? A dance to pop music, that can't be it. Zoomer slang. Gen Z have changed the meaning of the word. You can tell if you're Gen Z or millennial based on what you think the bop means. It's a good song, but I'm assuming it means the same as thought in this case. Did I get it right? Bop is a word for anyone, but it's typically used to refer to women, somebody who posts their body on the internet, or someone who has just been around with everybody, who is linking with every dude, been around all the dudes. Okay, so it's the new term for thought. Thought is apparently outdated now. I have seen like garbage slang come and go like 5 times. I feel so old, man. I feel so old.
My boyfriend's been cheating, so I joined a dating site, found it on there, and been catfishing him. He's due to meet the other me in a bar in 10 minutes, blissfully unaware that I'm there with a suitcase full of his clothes while my dad is changing our locks.
The only reason the fella has an affair is because he isn't getting naughties at home.
Says this person who I can quite confidently say has never been in a relationship ever. Alright, so here's a brain buster for you. Strap in, people at home. We're about to have our minds blown and educated. If you had a 16-year-old daughter, what would you rather see her do? A. Date a 33-year-old man who has the financial means to take care of her, the life experience to know what women want long-term, and the maturity to handle a relationship like her. Financially she's in higshe school, fam. She still lives at home. What are you talking about? I would be more concerned about the fact that you have an adult-ass man seeking out high schoolers specifically to date. That should probably raise some red flags about other things. You know, your daughter's gonna get heckin' trafficked, bro. What the shit? Or B, she goes to college, does what society and dem boys tell her to do, gets run through by 30 to 50 dudes over a period of 4 years. You see, if she goes to college and has fun, that's disgusting. She should get trafficked instead. That's much better for the family, who have little to no experience or knowledge on what's good for women long term, and the 33-year-old predatory trafficker does. Yeah, that's great. And she comes out of college with all kinds of trauma and emotional baggage, because situation A is not traumatic yet. No, it's okay, great. Please tell me from your vast experience which is actually better for women long term. You're also kind of like, you know, the age thing is kind of weird, because first you're specifying they're 16 and should date a 33-year-old, right? That is absolutely unhinged, and I hope you never have kids. Secondly, by the time they go to college, they're not going to be 16 anymore. They're going to be a young adult exploring adult life at a college campus, as people tend to do. It's still important to be careful, right? If you have kids going to college and that kind of stuff, sit them down, talk to them about like alcohol, how people can pressure them, all that kind of stuff. Don't go along with stuff just because of peer pressure. There are dangers to teenage and young adult lives that people should be aware of, and this is important conversations to have. But this ain't it. Like, you're comparing college life to human trafficking, basically, and being like, oh, human trafficking would be so much better because this 33-year-old man who seeks out 16-year-olds totally doesn't have ulterior motives. Don't procreate, because number one, your kids would inherit your intelligence, which is really sad. Number two, you would treat your kids like this, which is even sadder. Never procreate, please. Let's play a little game. Forget the fact none of these people are real. There are 5 women. Look at the faces of each woman. Identify the most wholesome woman of the 5 based on facial analysis alone. Facial analysis. This is an AI picture. We're gonna facially analyze people that aren't real and come to conclusions about people that don't exist. This is great. Note, there is a correct answer. I may or may not reveal the answer. Ooh, it's a bit of a cliffhanger. Let's get into it. I'm already tingling with excitement. I will give you a vague hint. A lot of you keep saying the same thing, and I can see why you would say that. But it is wrong. I am actually very tempted to explain the whole thing later with a rank order of wholesomeness and explanations for each. Everyone who said center left. Okay, let's go back a bit. Center left. That would be the blonde woman right behind him. Okay, the blonde AI-generated woman gets a lot of votes for being the most wholesome. I am not saying you're autistic, but if you actually are autistic, this is the opinion I would expect you to choose. Hey everyone, I have developed this home test for autism. I have this picture of some women that I made using AI, and if you think this one looks wholesome, then you have autism. Congratulations. This is already incredibly scientific. Let's keep going, shall we? She's actually the worst of them all. She's number 5. I decided based on absolutely nothing, and anyone who disagrees is autistic. Top right is 4. A lot of you thought she was number 1 because of her smile. Okay, top right. So that is another blonde lady smiling in the top right. AI generated still, not even a real person. Smile doesn't mean anything, and it's a red herring that disarms through misdirection. You see that? Smiling is gaslighting. Cover up her mouth with your fingers and look at her eyes. She is arrogant and manipulative. Alright, let's do that for a second. I'll put my thumb over there. Arrogant and manipulative. I just seen AI-generated picture, fam. I don't know what the hell you're on, but you're trying to overanalyze stuff that really isn't there. I don't know what to tell you. Not as much as center left, number 5, but more than the others. Okay, so number 5, the one in the center left, if we cover her mouth with a thumb, ooh, you can tell she's a devious one. If she actually existed, she would have not been wholesome. Reason center left is worse than top right is because she has the same traits, but with greater intelligence and thus higher destructive potential. What? This makes her more predatory. Did you make your AI-generated images take an IQ test or something? Is that what you're trying to tell me? If you look at the top right's face, you can see she isn't exactly the cleverest. This ameliorates her threat potential, even though she isn't high on integrity or wholesome. The top left is 3. Okay, let's check. Top left is 3. That's the other blonde lady in the back. There's also AI just like the rest. It's just like... Okay, cool. She is gentler than 4 and 5, but this is relatively speaking, and not in totality. She's more intelligent than 4, but less intelligent than 5. If you notice a pattern here, it's because blah, 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 blah. Funniest thing about number 3, she looks very gentle and welcoming to the untrained eye because her beauty seemingly welcoming gaze. These people aren't real. You AI generated a picture of generic-looking modelly people that their facial expressions may or may not be distorted because it's AI, and then you're trying to make up like fanfics background stories for them the same way I would make up a funny background story for like a Skyrim character, and then be like, she's not wholesome, because if you cover her mouth, you can tell that the eyes are very seductive when the pupils are doing like this, because it's AI. Holy shite, man. This is wild. And if they don't agree with your random ranking of these AI faces, they're autistic. Oh my god, dude. The number 1 is the only woman in the picture who is an outlier enough to consistently embody masculine virtues without destroying her femininity. Loyalty, honor, and accountability. Loyalty is a male trait. Dear God, what is this? Okay, so instead of, I don't know, going outside and, you know, practicing being social and finding your type in dating, which is also important, you know, it takes a bit of trial and error for most people, and you also grow up and change during life, you know, that's the thing. Instead, we sit at home and make AI-generated photos and make up hypothetical backstories for these people as if they were D&D characters, and we try to decide which is the most wholesome and who you would wife up, but try to apply it as it would be a real science. I have seen many whack things today, but this might take the cake. This might take the absolute cake.
You know she's a hoe when she puts her phone in the back pocket. Oh, let's look indeed at that. You know, if she puts her phone in the back pocket, I know all there is to know about her private life because I am so smart.
A woman's prime starts at 18. A man's prime starts at 30. Look at the celebrity picture. Women age like milk. Men age like wine. You are the price, not her. 24,000 likes. Great. The photo that this person used of Christian Bale and his wife is from 2002, meaning that his wife, Sibi, was 32 when that photo was taken. She is also 3 years older than Christian, so he wasn't even 30. Unless, you know, he was born early in the year. Then, of course, it's possible, but... So she's over 30, and he is actually under 30, most likely, and... Oh, that's so funny. That moron couldn't even tell that CB was in her 30s in that photo, but he expects us to believe we start to look like old women the second we turn 30. I mean, to be fair, I don't think people making these kind of posts can tell the difference between someone that is 20 and 30, or someone that is 20 or 40 for that matter either. They have a really skewed perspective of this stuff for some reason. It's wild. Anne Hathaway at 17 versus 41 years old.
That's how you age when you're unproblematic. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Girls want to be talking about period pains. Have you ever rolled your ankle over like this?
I am so glad girls don't have ankles. It's such a relief, fellow ladies.
It is time. Abby could have been thick. The Last of Us. Look at this. Yeah. Just go play an anime game, man. Just play an anime game, please. Jesus Christ.
Look at how goofy and happy she is. You can't have these type of dates with women over 25. They're too bitter. Look at that.
You can't do this when you're over 25.
Oh my god, I think these people are actually a perfect match. If she's actually in on it, she might be an innocent bystander in this just out on an innocent date. But assuming they're both in on it, she's like the most massive pick-me, and he's the most bitter, weird, like, hyper online theory about the women's. What a match made in absolute hellfire. And not the good kind of hellfire. Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, I hope you learned something from this video. Isn't that just absolutely amazing? Education with Click, and I hope to see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.